We will be doing a little bit in the ring. A lot of this might be talking today, but I will try and get everybody in the ring for a little bit of something, just so you didn't get all dressed and put your boots on for no reason. If I ask you to do something and you don't know how to do it, don't try to do it just because I told you. Please speak up. I'll give you a perfect example. William Regal does not do arm drags. We did not a seminar, but like a practice thing at UPW once. And I told him we were going to do this and this and this, and he said, "Oh well, I don't do arm drags. It's just not in my game. I don't do it." I personally, I don't know if you guys know what the reverse monkey flip is, but it's basically you lay on your back and that guy comes running towards your head and you push him off with your feet. I can't take that bump. Every time I ever tried, I landed on my skull. It was just very awkward. And now, if anyone asks me to do it, I say I cannot do it. I cannot do it justice. Never be afraid to tell somebody I can't do that. Okay, all right, so the first thing I'm going to tell you was something that a friend of mine told me before the first seminar I did this last month. I don't do a lot of seminars. I feel very awkward because I sometimes wonder how the hell I got where I am today. It's like sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like I'm even the best wrestler in the 5-foot circle I'm standing in. And so I feel very awkward teaching people sometimes. But I appreciate that you guys trust me enough to sort of sit and listen to me for a little bit. This thing that my friend told me, I'm going to tell you what he told me to tell you, and then I'm going to tell you what it means. So don't take this first statement out of my mouth the wrong way. But let me tell you that professional wrestling is fake. And I don't mean fake like it's easy. I don't mean fake like it doesn't hurt. But professional wrestling is not... It's not a sport in the sense that the better you are at the physical part of it, the better you will do. In the end, how your career progresses depends a lot more on the promoter than you yourself. And if you can get that in your head right away at the beginning, it will be a lot easier on you. And what I mean by that is a lot of guys go through their career and they get to a certain, they hone their craft. They get to a certain status and they feel like, oh, well, I should be doing better. I should be winning matches. I should be holding titles, whatever. It's not up to you. It's up to the promoter. And whether the promoter has ideas that are in your best interest or that benefit you personally, that's circumstantial. The promoter is trying to do what he thinks is best for his business, and if that means taking Eric and making him world champion on his first match, and he thinks that's the best thing for business, then that's what he'll do. And Mike here may have been wrestling for 10 years and be a better wrestler, but for whatever reason, he's not the guy that they decide to give the ball to. And just like acting, when you are the product, when you are trying to sell yourself and someone says no thanks or you're not the right person for this, feelings can get hurt. And I've been there. I often wonder why the hell things that have happened to me in my career have happened that way. Like, well, crap, if they'd have just let me win that match, if they'd have just put the belt on me then or something. But you have to take a step back and go, okay, well, it's not up to me. It's up to promoter. And I'll be pointing at you gentlemen a lot. So when I say they, don't hate them, but sometimes they can be perceived as the bad guys. And there you have it. So if you sort of get in your head that the only thing that you can affect in terms of your career is what happens the minute you do this. This is all you control. Everything you do in this ring, you control. If you care about your product, if you care about your craft, you will get as good as you can get here. And then it's up to them if they utilize you to your potential. But like I said, it doesn't always mean that the best wrestler, how many times have you seen where the best wrestler in a company doesn't, isn't the champ, isn't the top guy, isn't whatever. There's a reason. The guys in the business that have, not let go of that or have always put too much into it or care too much about this, they forget that it's not up to them. So, and let me tell you this too, this is not a license to say, don't try hard. Take pride in what you do here. Because in the end, like I said, this is all you control. And if you get a reputation for, it's a work, so I'm not going to try hard. Well, that's an easy reason to be pushed aside. If you bust your ass, care about how you look, care about how you are perceived by promoters, the odds are good that you will be looked upon as a commodity and used. And the rest is up to the whims of them. So, also, I don't know if I said this ahead of time, but I rambled. So I apologize if I talk around the point. I will try to get to the point as quickly as possible. So, okay, I'm going to, probably should have asked you guys to do this when you put your name tags on, but everybody who's been wrestling for 2 years or less, raise your hand.
Oh.
2 years or less.
Boy.
Now, when I say that too, let me go back. Is there anybody who is just sort of starting, that hasn't really wrestled matches? Okay, so today you might not get in the ring as much today. This isn't really this is how you take a back bump, this is how you run the ropes seminar. This is more of a, this is how you tell a story, this is how you get the most out of the least. So please don't be disappointed if I don't get you in the ring and start bumping you about. It will be best for you to sort of watch and learn rather than try and come in and do physical. If that's all right, I apologize. So the rest of you, who has 5 years or more? 8 years? Okay. Okay, so we've got people that have been working pretty regularly. Is there anybody that's not from the area? Really? Holy crap. Now driving distance. So, did anybody fly in for this nonsense? Okay, well, no, and the reason I ask is because there's a difference between a guy who's been working 2 years but worked 3 matches a week and a guy who's been working for 5 years and only wrestled twice a month or once a month. So, when you say I've been wrestling for 5 years, is it pretty regularly, or, I know that Oregon has been sort of... Some of
us work about 3-4 times, possibly 5 a month.
Okay, so once a week, Twice. Okay. So I've got pretty much a level playing field as far as if I tell you to come in here and do a deal, I shouldn't get a whole lot of from you, I hope. No? Okay. Bishop, if you could come in the ring, and Garrett. Yep. Okay, come on in the ring for a second. Okay, this is what I'm going to have everybody do just to sort of get an idea of what you look like when you're doing this stuff. I'm going to do a little bit of pointers if I see specific stuff that I want to change. But this is really just more a matter of, I want to get an idea of your coordination, basically. If you fall down running the ropes, I'll know what's up, and everything else should be pretty easy. So the spot we're going to do, and I'm not going to assume anybody's a heel or a face. I'll just point. You're the bad guy, you're the good guy at this point. So basically what we're going to do is we'll lock up, the heel will stop the baby face, you'll back him into a corner, put a couple of, put a little steam on him, He'll shoot him off the ropes and give him one offensive maneuver. I will leave that up to the heel. Okay? After that, the babyface will get put in the corner. The heel will shoot the babyface. The babyface will go up and over out of the corner. And then he will give the heel an arm drag, a hip toss, and a body slam, and the heel will power. Okay? So I'll tell again just so everybody sort of has the idea. Heel takes the babyface, puts some steam on him, shoots him in the ropes, bumps him. Anything. And then you call it right then and there. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It can be whatever you are comfortable doing. Get him in the corner, shoot the babyface. Babyface goes up and over, arm drag, hip toss, body slam, heel powders, yay babyface. Okay? Please act like you're doing a match. Don't act like this is practice and halfway, because that's not a fair assessment of what you're doing. Does that make sense? Okay, so could you please be the babyface in this instance? Her two, please be the heel, and we'll go from there. Okay? At your leisure, sir. Okay, the one thing I would say physically for that is, Bishop, please, Sean, stand up for a second. All right, you guys watch this from this side, but I'm going to show him from this side. When you throw your clotheslines, aim your fist to go over the person's shoulder, and aim the bend of your elbow to go right at the base of their neck. Bang. Okay, so that it doesn't look like this. Does everybody see where my hand is? That doesn't look like a clothesline to me. This looks like a clothesline. And if you just hit, excuse me for a second, bang. You hear that? Well done. Very good. Just that noise is enough. And it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be bang. That's why I tell you, if you aim the bend of your elbow here, everybody see that? Aim the bend of your elbow there, bang. And a lot of guys too, stand up again one more time, I'm sorry. No, you're good, you're good. A lot of guys will try and hit shoulder to shoulder almost, like chest to chest, like a tackle would be. But they put their arm here, and it's still contact, and it's not going up in the neck, it's not going up in the jaw. Okay? Who's calling the spot with the confusion right at the beginning? Is that you? Did you just not hear him, or did you? Well, it was like
he said
something,
watch the shot, and I couldn't hear
something. Yeah, what was happening?
He said watch the shot the first time, but I didn't hear him.
So were you gonna whip him and watch
No,
the
I was
shot?
gonna give him the chop.
Oh, okay. Don't feel the need to call everything. Sort of be available to your opponent. If you know you're selling, be there for the sell. And it shouldn't have to be a thing where I take Eric and I go, okay, Eric, watch the punch. Back, watch this punch too. Back, watch this punch too. If I'm on him, I'll stay on him. I'll tell him to fight back. Put your name tag back on, sir. You just fell off. I'll be working him. If I want him to fight back, I'll say fight back, or I'll give him the Iggy. Does everybody know what the Iggy is? Yes? Okay, everybody knows what the Iggy is. It's a double squeeze. You just started, right? You said you just started? You didn't say you just started? A year? Okay. Who's the other? There were two people that said we haven't been wrestling a lot. It was you guys, wasn't it? But you do know what the Iggy is? Okay, come here, give me your arm. The Iggy just is this. If I'm in the ring and I do this, if I have a hold on you and I do the double squeeze, that means reverse. If you have a hold on me and I do the double squeeze, it means stop hurting me. It means take it easy, kid. So yeah, chop, that kind of stuff, you don't have to call it. I'm available for you. There's even a point at some point when you're comfortable with yourself that I'll grab you for a suplex, you should know it's a suplex. If I scoop you for a body slam, you should know it. I mean, that doesn't mean don't call it, but, you know, don't try and surprise the guy. But don't call the minutia just means the little shit. Don't call the minutia of a match. Try to keep it, the less you have to tell the guy, the less, you know, the more comfortable you get, the less you have to actually say about little stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also, too, one thing, be careful, there's a difference between when you're coming up from a bump, you need to be coming up facing away as a heel, coming up facing away. So there's a difference between taking a bump, like if I took the hip toss from Garrett, if I took the hip toss, then I get up like this, or, does that make sense? Do you see the difference? If you get up that first way, and you get up looking at the guy, and then you take a bump, it sort of gets the people out of it, in the sense that, like, you see it coming, so why didn't he not take the bump? Does that make sense? So don't make it look like, okay, I'm up for another bump. The idea is, I took a bump, whoa, what the hell just happened? I'll get you, whoa, he's right there, okay? And that's why, as a babyface, when you bump a guy, if you're gonna bump a series of bumps, it's bang, and you're right there behind him. So that his next step at you, you're there. If you've got, stand up, if I just bump Garrett, if I gave him the arm drag, and I want him to take it, and he's about to take a hip toss, this is too far away. I just bumped Garrett, take it, just on the back, boom, hip toss. Save your bumps, save your bumps. Please save your bumps. No, I'll tell you, if I want to bump you, I'll say, please take this before we do it. I don't want to just, hey, let's take hip toss for the sake of it. We all have a finite number of bumps in our life. We do. Every bump you take is one bump closer to the last bump you'll ever take. Let's make them mean something, please. So we're not going to thunk for the sake of thunking, okay? Yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Can I please get Tony and Nate? Tony, please be the baby face in this. And one, real quickly, you guys don't have to try to impress me, but I would like to see different, like especially for the heels, different little maneuvers in that spot where I say bump the guy. You don't have to shooting star press the guy, but let's see some variety. Use what's yours. And I'll talk a little bit later about stuff that becomes yours in your offense. Okay? Please. Okay, the first thing that I think about when I was listening to you, okay, come in the corner for me. This, incorporating what I'm about to do, will put a lot of polish on the things you do in the ring. You will see a difference in the way people watch you, okay? Block up with me, and I'll pull you to the corner. I'm going to do this twice. The first way is sort of how Nate did it, and the second way is how I would like you to do it, and that's no offense to you, Nate. Okay? Okay? That's how Nate did it. This is how I would like you to do it. Does that make sense? And that's something that the Japanese pound into you every time you're training. Effort. You know what I mean? A little bit of noise sounds like effort. Everybody sort of knows what's going on, but we don't tell them, we don't prove it to them by what we do in this ring. The idea is, even if they know, we create doubt in their minds. Holy shit, did you see that? These guys must not like each other. Holy crap, they're really going at it. You know what I mean? Secondarily, make sure when you're gonna throw forearms, get the guy's chin out of the way, and try to come up a little bit. You were sort of down here, and yeah, real tight movements. Remember, your offense should play to the back row, okay? The difference between television and theater, television, the camera comes to you. Whoa, camera comes to you. In theater, we have to project to them. And so the difference between this, and this, boom! You know what I mean? Sorry. As I just whack him for a minute. Take that, kid. Does that make sense? To row 38, seat J, that second one probably affected him more. Okay? Also too, when you guys are doing your offense, Nate, come in the ring. And this is advice for you, but for everybody, but this is what I saw. As you're doing this stuff, have your feet planted. Would you mind taking a hip toss and a body slam for me? Okay, come on, hip toss. Okay, one more time, come up. I'm not gonna bump you this time. The difference between what I just did and what Tony had just done, and that means for the body slam, just for the body slam. Whoa. Lots of movement. Very distracting. Okay. Have a base. You know what I mean? Get your feet under you and try not to do this. Same thing with regular offense. Like when I've got a hold on a guy, okay. Once you've got a hold and you're holding it, I was going with Conan for a minute. And I was like, that is not correct. Thank you for finishing. The only people that know 100% what's supposed to happen in the ring are these guys. The minute they do, now everybody knows something's awry. So if it happens, grab a hold. If you're a babyface, grab a hold. If you're a heel, stop the guy. Okay, so don't hit the brakes. That's the giveaway, dead giveaway. If you miss something, don't go back to it. Also a dead giveaway. Does that make sense? Like if I'm supposed to hit you with a super kick and it whiffs by a mile, don't call it again. Does that make sense? Kellen, come in the ring. Okay, if you're 6'2", stand like you're 6'2". Okay. There's a tendency because amateur wrestling's here. Amateur wrestling's low. It's about changing levels. Elbows in, thumbs up. Right? Pro wrestling is, so as you're soft guy, you're tall. You're tall. Okay? If you're down here, okay, fall and lock up. Relax. When he threw you, did he throw you like this? No? Okay, it looked like it. It looked like it. Because there was a. Okay, never mind. Also make sure, lock up with me again. Hard and then, okay, not hard and then hard. This is one through here, one through here. Now, okay, and then also push. Okay. And try. Also, this for the lockups. There's a difference. Let's take this one so everybody sees. Okay. So when we lock up, try not to do this with his hand is here. Try not to go right away to that. It's bang, right here on the trap. Because this arm is straight for a reason. If both arms are bent, bonk. Okay? The idea is bang. Okay? And there's that hard pop. This time a little spice to it. Hear that? Slap on slap. That's how people know it's real. They hear that skin on skin action, that sound. Shit, it's real. It's real. Okay? If you guys come in with arms bent, and both of you come in with arms bent, bonk. You only have to do that once to know it sucks ass. It sucks. So please be careful. Always eyes. Always look in the eyes, like Mr. Miyagi says. Okay? Nobody got that, really? Am I the oldest guy? Okay, thank you. Do me a favor. Everybody that I've already had, we're going to do this. We're going to filter the guys that are done or that have done the spot here. And if you haven't, start sliding this way so I know who to pick from because I'm a dunce. I apologize. Eric and Eric, please be the heels. Remember what I said about being up on the guy? He bumped. Eric bumped for you. If that's Eric, or if that's you, Eric bumped for you and turned, and you were this far away. Why would he continue to hip toss? Why? That make sense? Yes. And I don't mean crowd the guy. Remember, everybody, when you're taking these bumps, the way I was taught, it was called a back step. I would take a back step to feed. Okay? You take the bump, you take this step, it should be right there. I'm coming off the bump here, or arm drag, or body slam, whatever it is. Okay? So, just lay on your back like I just did. Okay? So, bang, I just bumped your feet up. Boom. One step. We should take one step and meet. Okay? Try not to, there's a difference too. Stay right here. You just bumped me, okay? There's a difference between turning, watch how I turn. And, does that make sense? Don't turn and put more distance. Turn and close the distance. Okay, otherwise it turns into, I'll just take a bump. Okay, no good. Also too, this is very nitpicky, very nitpicky. And ladies, please don't take this the wrong way as I say it, but this is how a chick slams. Okay, feet first. See where my hand is right now? Here, tuck, and then I would slam it, but let's see. Here, hold the guy up. Guy puts his face up. Oh shit, I'm about to get slammed. Okay. Okay. Because when you tuck him early, come at me and I'll slam you. I'm not gonna slam you, but I'll feed him the way he does it. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Pulling his head down. Pulling his head up. He's posting for you so that everybody can see that. Here. Okay? And I can hold him here for a while if I had to because he's got a good base. And I got my feet under me. And then, bang. Okay? Good recovery. Little bobble on the up and over. So, good. The rest of it was good. Thank you. Okay, ladies. Spinelli, that was not the name you introduced me as. Spinelli, you have the Italian sounding name. You'll be the heel. Italian leader.
That's right. Okay. Italian heel, it's instant.
Okay.
I didn't really give her anything at the beginning.
Well, right. I wanted you to take over. The heel starts. Heel initiates the action. Heel initiates. Babyface out wrestles. Okay? So whenever, a good rule of thumb, this isn't 100% every time, but generally speaking, lock up, heel initiates the action. The heel tries to out wrestle. Look how good I am, everybody. Whoa, I just got reversed. Try something else, babyface out wrestles. Try something else, babyface out wrestles. Fuck this. Right now. Heel shit. Okay? So, yeah. That just wasn't what I asked for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that was...
I should have taken over from her right away.
Yes. Yeah. Like you locked up and she started out wrestling you right there, and I'm like, wait, that wasn't what I asked for. I want the heel thing.
Yeah.
And if a heel out wrestles a babyface, what does the babyface have left? Nothing. Exactly. The idea is the babyface is the better wrestler. The heel has to take the shortcut to get over, then the babyface triumphs. Right? So yeah, I mean, it's hard to, like technique-wise, like the action was not bad. If you're gonna shoot somebody off, you're gonna tackle them. Make it look like you're doing something. Look like you stood there and she just took the bump off of you. All right. Like that would be like a bishop style spot. You know what I mean? A big guy versus a little guy spot. Two gals that are about the same size. It looks like, did something fuck up? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just like get in the habit of putting more oomph in what you're doing. Okay? Lock up with you. Or you know what I mean? A little more oomph goes a long way. If you guys have a problem getting up and over, and some do, and some guys are trained to do it this way. That has to be up. Like if you can't get a good up and over on your own feet, just doing one of those. Second rope's on, or the bottom rope. That seems to be like a Southern California thing actually. It's sort of a lucha thing, but if it works for you, good. And if you don't do up and overs, that's also fine. But if I call an up and over and you almost kick me in the face, I might be annoyed at you afterwards, like, what the hell? So, does that make sense? Thank you. Let's get Aaron and feed the babyface. Is that funny? What'd I do?
No, he's never been a heel. He's the ultimate baby face.
Aaron's never been a heel.
Aaron's the ultimate baby face.
That's what I just said, Aaron.
Yeah.
The ultimate
we were
baby face.
laughing.
Oh, okay. So he's never been a heel.
I have played once or twice, but yeah.
My bedroom.
Let's see.
You're not only as the freak.
Good. Two things I want to mention about that particular spot. First of all, oomph-wise, that was the best one so far. A lot of oomph out of. A lot of oomph out of. But the timing was shaky. For your bump and feed, for him, it was shaky. So that's on you though. That's on you. You got to get that cleaned up. And that has a little bit to do with your footwork once you're bumping. You know what I mean? Get your feet under you and get up. And especially for a bump and feed situation, it's bump up quickly, bump up quickly. Especially for a comeback, which that sort of was, you know, in the space of that particular spot, that was the comeback. Bump feet, bump feet, bump feet. It's not bumping too much. Your sell should match the bump I give you. If I give you a body slam and you sell like I shot you in the back, too much. Conversely speaking, if I give you a superplex and you nip up, no good. Okay? Remember where you are in a match. Think of it in terms of video games. You start a game, you have your power meter, health meter. One bump, up quick, more anger than pain. A little bit of pain, a little bit of shock. Next thing, later in the match, bump. Pulling yourself up on the ropes. Bump, bump, and sell relative to where you are in the match, relative to what just happened. Good baby face. Yeah, that whole thing was really good, really good. Just that timing of it, and it was good. Did everybody notice how the slam went awry, and he didn't bang, 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 back to it? Boom. Good job, thank you. This is not specifically for them, but just so you know. Circle with me. Like if I'm the heel and I'm ready to go, be completely opposite of me, directly opposite of me. When we circle to start, and we stay exact opposite. We don't catch up and we don't lag behind to the guy that we're circling. Does anybody know why? I will tell you.
Get off center.
Say again?
When all your work's not in the center of the ring.
Yes, basically that. If I'm circling and I catch up to that, now when we lock up, does that make sense? But if we're even, where are we at? Where are we at? Dead center. Okay. Everything's aiming towards the center. When applicable, obviously, when applicable, but all that central stuff we're trying to play so that everybody sees us. And if we're over here and we lock up here, those people don't get the best view. Okay, first part of the match, everybody sees. Remember, I just said a minute ago, sell relative to the bump you took. Also, as a heel, I think I might have backed up a little bit on that. Is relax there. He did the thing, bang, and then there was a bit of a pause, and then again, bang. I think I might have put a couple of things like that together. Bang, bang. Now he can sell. He's got a little bit to sell. Like the one thing, it was almost like too much, and you took too long in between them. Does that make sense? So if it was bang, 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 now he's got something to sell. Now you can be like, yeah, my house, bang, next thing, or give it back, or whatever you're gonna do. Okay? So in the same way that you, as the person taking the offense, should sell accordingly, the person giving the offense should time his shit accordingly. Don't take too long on a eye rake, and don't speed up after something more devastating. A lot of the stuff I've seen so far has been not rushed, but you guys can take a beat after certain things. I'm going to do the spot with somebody in a minute, and I'll show you sort of what I mean. I hope to show you. I could absolutely do the same thing I'm telling you not to do, which is just exactly how I would do it. Okay, thank you guys. only thing that I would say about that is when you're running ropes, running corner to corner, there's a path, there's a straight line. And you as the person throwing or giving offense to the guy coming off the ropes and coming out of the corner should not be in that same line. Okay? If I shot off the ropes and I hold him off the clothesline, I can't be here. Does that make sense? Just run the ropes for a second. Run the ropes. Just keep running. Straight line. Straight line. See how I'm on the other side of each line? The reason I say that is if you're in the corner like this, and he had to do in the corner. No, sit. If I'm going to throw him, around so he runs straight. Basically, the idea is if you're running, run straight. If you're throwing the guy to run, don't impede his progress. Good. Good stuff. Good move. Good baby. Okay, so please be the baby face. Okay? All right, and listen, do not, like I said, don't, I'm not sure, but I'll do it anyway. Don't do that because if you're not sure, that's when people get hurt. You know what I mean? If you're halfway and you're like, I'm not sure, that's when shit happens. Literally, shit happens. I would rather know ahead of time, I'm not quite ready. Give me a second. Because then everybody's safe and, you know, especially if I put two people who are in a year and no one's there to lead, don't feel bad, okay? Please, don't feel bad. So let's do this. Okay? Okay, good for where you should be, okay? Good action. Don't be, this is the place where you can relax, okay? Relax. If you mess it up here, right now it doesn't matter, and you will get better. And everybody will fuck something up at some point in their lives. Everybody. I have fucked up many times. Many times. And all you do is you say, I'm sorry, and try everything you can do in your power to not do the same fuck up again. That's it. I will never be mad at somebody who fucks up unless they do it on purpose. Like, everybody messes up. And the person that says they're perfect just lied to you. So, don't worry about it. And like I said, when you're here, if things don't go the way that you're trying to have it go, shit happens. Just relax. Just relax. Having said that, knowing that she's sort of trepidatious about how to do this, don't rush her with stuff. And the one thing I mean is, shot her into the corner and you were starting to come, and then you realize, whoop, not quite ready. You know what I mean? Give her just a little bit more space so that you know, hey, now we're ready. All right. Annie, are you and Spinelli ready? Hey, thank you, ladies. I would like you to be the heel, please. Now, most of the time, in this instance, Specifically in this instance, I'm making the person less experienced as the babyface because traditionally the heel calls the match. The heel sets the pace. The thing that happens in training is usually you learn how to do stuff first and when and why to do stuff later. Because not to downplay anyone's physical abilities, but a monkey can do the things we do. The thing that makes us a worker or a good worker is knowing when and why to do it that way. Okay? So, and that's, well, she wasn't listening anyway, so that's not me calling her a monkey, like, oh, you can do monkey spots. But that's me saying, like, hopefully she'll be able to do the physical part of this, and Spinelli, in her role right now as the heel, will either tell her or I will tell her. Did you still want me calling this stuff out for you or no? You think you got it?
Yeah, if you let me tweak it a little bit with you, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Holy. What a fucking ego. I'm an asshole. Why?
I love her. And she loves her. There you go. Arm out. Sorry, I don't really know, like, Christina more or less trains them, so I don't.
That's cool.
Oh. I don't train anybody. I don't train anybody.
Don't, you can't do that. No.
I don't train anybody.
Okay, well, just say, I can't do that. Just say, I can't do that.
What the hell is
And I'll go, okay, that's fine. And either I'll switch it or, you know, we don't have tools in baseball. So don't worry about it. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. I don't expect you guys to be able to do everything perfect if you're only in it for a year or less. So like I said, do not be afraid to say, I don't know how to do that. And see, this is more, it's not important, it's not as important now because everybody sort of works together. Everybody sort of, this whole crew sort of works together a lot. Am I right? Or,
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot more important when you go outside of your comfort zone. Are you guys listening? Oh, come on out, come on out. It's more important when you go outside your comfort zone. I haven't met any of you until today. And so I don't know, I probably won't get a chance to see any of you wrestle until I'm in the ring with one of you tonight. Does that make sense? And so I cannot have, if I have a preconceived notion of how good you are, the odds are good that I will be wrong. And vice versa. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna give you a backdrop. Land on your feet. If I told you that that's what I wanted you to do, what would you tell me? Can you do that? Can you do that? If you can, say yes. If not, say, whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't land on my feet. I'll kill myself. No, don't say I can try. Say I've never done that before. Don't, maybe I can do it, I'll get through it. No, don't. Just say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with that. And if you're not comfortable with it, I will adjust. You will adjust. Because in the end, we're all working together, and if we're working against each other, then this falls apart. Nothing looks worse than falling apart in here. Believe me, it looks like shit. Thank you for trying. Thank you for trying. Seriously, and don't get upset about stuff. Just, it'll come, okay? So thank you for trying. You guys went, you haven't gone. You guys are left. Okay, let's do Cliven? Cleveland, okay, and Ian. Cliven.
Dr. Quiet.
Dr. Cleveland.
You and Sean will be there, is that okay? You guys? All right.
Does this one make it not sticky?
Cleveland, would you please be the heel? That was very entertaining.
That was awesome.
That's not left-handed. That was entertaining. That was good. That was really good. Your cell is really good. You're a little quick to get on your feet. And this is again going to be about selling in the terms of let the selling match the move. Okay, if I hit you here, how would you sell? Okay, this is the way I sort of learned it, and it's easy on me. It's easier on me. Think of offense. Think of offense as something hot. Like if you put your thumb on a stove, what would you do? Turn it away. Twist my arm. See how I'm trying to get away? Get away? Get away? Okay. So, wait, not just stand there. The more you put into it, the more sell. You know what I mean? And I don't mean oversell, but I mean give it its due. Don't undersell. But your face is classic. Your face is classic. He had like the pouty lip on the floor. I'm like, oh. And the background was tremendous. Yeah, very good, thank you. That's up there with yours and Aaron's. Different reasons, but still up there as far as best spot so far. So, Keith and CJ, how do you spell that? Yeah. CJ, I know you came late. Do you sort of understand the spot, or do you want me to call it to you? You got it? Okay. Keith, could you please be the heel? Sure. Just because you look rugged and heelish.
Rugged. You better steal that now.
action was good, but the pacing, you guys were rushing. You know what I mean? You were going from one thing to the next quick. This is a hypothetical, not hypothetical. This is, maybe it's hypothetical. Answer this question. If I kick him 3 times really fast, is that better than me kicking him 1 time really hard?
No.
No.
Okay. So, sit on your ass for a second. Sit on your ass for a second. If I do this, how effective are my kicks? Especially, and that's not a downplay, because I mean, that was Austin's thing back in the day. He would bang, 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 and the people would come. But at a certain point, he would stop and let that register what he had just done, so that guy could sell. If I go, you know what I mean? If I'm rushing through my shit, what does my shit mean? Right? Same thing, you will get, this is obviously case by case, and like I said, not everything I say is going to be 100% all the time. But you will get more out of one good punch if it's one good punch and he sells. Okay? It was good that you got in the spot and then realized what was happening and got back to it. I'm sorry. Oh, it's good, no, because it was, you did the classic reverse, oh, okay, and then you finished. So, I mean, I knew that you didn't get it and then you got it at the last second, so. Oh, there you have it. Okay, well, in the end it worked. For those little basic bumps, arm drag, hip toss, body slam, well, no, more arm drag than hip toss than body slam. Arm drags and hip tosses, you as the person giving the bump, you're basically making a line with your body. And the guy taking the bump is taking his own bump over that line. So, and this has a lot more to do with the arm drag than the hip toss. But you cannot be in his way when he bumps. Okay? And there's a wrong way to arm drag and a right way to arm drag. And Aaron, come here for a second. You guys can sit. You guys can sit down. Thank you. I'm going to try and show you sort of an awkward way to arm drag, and I'll try and show you the way I'd like you to arm drag, or the way I think looks clean. Okay? And you guys, let's see what would be the best. No, right here. You know what? Put your back to them. Put your back to them. I'm going to arm drag you, and then I'm going to arm drag. We'll both move lock up. Okay? This first one's going to be somewhat awkward looking. Okay, so please don't hurt me. You, I apologize. Okay, so. Okay, did you guys sort of see that? That wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but it sort of was right. Now, this is the way I like it.
Okay.
Does that look different?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You are making a line that that person's bumping over. So the wrong way to do an arm drag is, here, this time, the wrong way to arm drag, guys, is trying to do this. See how high up I am? How is he supposed to jump over me if I'm in his way? Okay? When you arm drag, you're basically coming down here, and he's bumping high over you. Okay? Take an arm drag. See, that wasn't even a good arm drag because I held him too long. I pulled him down. He could have taken a much higher bump if I hadn't pulled. But having said that, you drop down out of his way and he takes his own bump. If you guys are trying to do arm drag and you're still up on your feet, it's going to be hard for him. If you're not comfortable doing arm drags like that, there's another way to do an arm drag called a form arm drag. It's a completely different move, but it's way safer, and I'll show it to you right now. And this is from an arm bar. From here, I'll make it. See how? Drop to my knees. The guy can bump over me. But it's much safer because there's not that awkwardness of I'm not out of his way yet. He doesn't go anywhere until I go. Okay? So if you're not comfortable doing arm drags where you bump into your back and letting that guy fly, maybe put an arm bar on, foam arm drag until you get more comfortable. Just a suggestion. Hip toss is the same thing. Hip toss, if this is the line that you're making with your body, hip toss, the guy needs to go this way. You can't be here trying to hip toss in there. And you guys, the point I'm making with that is you're trying to go high. Okay, so let your head come up. You're going to hip toss twice. The first time, it's going to be not so good. Not from a lock up there. Just get ready. I'm going to feed for it. Okay? Watch the difference in this, and I hope I do this right, because otherwise I'll bump twice from this. Come this way, so everybody sees. Can you see? Okay. Come up here a little bit. Okay, ready? First hip toss, not good, I think. Ready? Okay. Second hip toss. What was the difference?
You showed your face before you took the bump.
And you're way higher.
Well, yes, he answered it, but you raised your hand, so go ahead.
Sorry, first one he jumped like around him, kind of sideways.
Yeah. Well, it was bad. The whole point being, if I tuck my head, my body follows my head. If you put your head up, A, everybody sees it, and B, you get height, and it looks more like a move than a thing. That's why it's very awkward for me to see people tucking the head on hip tosses. I don't, if you do that, okay, but understand that you are fighting the person, you're keeping the person from showing emotion. You know, there should be a split second of, oh shit, coming off of you when you're taking a hip toss. And if you're tucking my head for me, I don't get that. Same thing with the body center. If you pre-tuck my head, I got nothing. I got nothing. This is where all this has to be seen, all this emotion. If you're covering up, and that means everything. Like when you're getting hit, if I'm selling, I'm not selling like this. I'm selling like this. Ah! 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 You know what I mean? Face up. Everything's out. Playing there. Playing to these people. Don't play down. Sell up, sell out, project. Okay? Thank you. Ladies. Stop, time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch roles, if that's all right. Can we do that? And I'll tell you why in a second.
Gotta be up and over, she's just gonna...
That's fine. Absolutely.
Huh? Then you give me arm drag, hip toss, body slam, and powder.
You're telling me what you should have done? Is that what you're saying right now?
I thought it was like heat, moving more heat. Come back.
No, it was he. Bump them once, shoot them corner, up and over,
Sorry.
something.
Okay.
Oh, so you, okay, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. You didn't quite
I had her in
understand the
the headlock,
spot.
if she would have just like
Why
shot me off
why
like-
would you as a heel put the babyface in the
I don't know,
headlock?
and I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That's fine. I mean, if anyone ever asks you why you did something, if your answer is I don't know, it's probably not something you should do.
Right.
Does that make sense? If you don't have a reason for what you're doing, the odds are good that
So I should
there's
just
no
kept
good reason.
hitting her?
Yeah, or, you know. There's nothing wrong, like if your answer was, like if you had done this, if you had bam, and then put her in the headlock,
Right.
I'd have been fine with that.
Okay.
Because
But it was lock up. Wait, it was lock up cut off.
it was like lock up, takedown, and then walked her right back up. And then, like, you were basically then out wrestling her.
Okay.
It would have been better, in my opinion, to stop, no, just to stop her. And if you're gonna put the hold on her, let her fight out of it or something like that and cut her again so that you can get to bumping her.
Okay.
But I mean, you controlling her with wrestling,
It's not good because I should cheat.
yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And it seemed like you were trying to call stuff to her one thing at a time. It's probably better for you, like,
do a bunch
do it, well, you know, if, take advantage of your proximity, okay? If I take Mary Jane and I want her to take a backdrop and then a drop kick and then a clothesline, if I throw her in for the backdrop, where is she? When she takes the bump, where is she? No, God no. If I give her a backdrop, she's way over there. She's way over there.
While you're shooting me off, you should tell me the whole next.
Yes, I can tell you the whole spot. It'll be easier for me. Backdrop, drop kick, clothesline.
Exactly.
Bam. That way, there's that distance, but I can go for the next spot without having to go, you know, and also too, I wouldn't go backdrop her,
And then what?
take her to the ropes,
Right.
drop kick, pick her, take her to the ropes, clothesline. Do you know what I mean? Too much. Simple. Try and keep it simple, and take advantage of your proximity. That's why if you ever watch older wrestling, there was a lot of headlocks. There was a lot less distance because this is when they called it all in the ring. This is where they did it all. This is where they did it all, and they would hold the headlock for a while because people, you know, back then it was real. It was real to them. And so they could stay in this headlock for a little bit, work that angle, and the whole thing would be like, all right, when we lock it up, tackle drop down, I'll take it again, and we'll call the next thing from there. Bam, 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 bam. And you'd go back to the headlock. There'd be a little bit of movement, back to the headlock. And that was the mentality. It would be work a hold. Build up, build up, build up, back to the hold, you know? Thank you, thank you. The only thing, remember about selling equaling what's happening. Like you see the shoulder. What are you selling? Okay, give me your shoulder now. Okay? Like he gave you a couple things and it was just like, okay, give it some. Give me two shoulders, but take your time and watch this. This is, this is going to be a little bit of selling equal to the bump and getting a position for a guy. It's a little bit of everything. So not real slow, but take your time. Shoot the elbows, okay? Or shoot the elbows and the shoulders. What I meant, no, because Usually I'll give shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. If I take shoulder, 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 I'll take it, boom, and then I'll start opening up so that it's there for him to go again. Okay, and that's just a matter of me sort of understanding and feeding for stuff for this guy. And you know, and that's gonna come with comfort. You know, when you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna let him do this and give myself up and open up to him so that if he's working here, I don't want to take one shot and then you know what I mean? I'll take it, I'll sell. Now I'll come back up. Oh, there it goes again. You know, does that make sense?